Welcome to Other Realm Studio. I'm Paula, and today we will be working on this nightmarish vision, which looks less nightmarish with the blue line sketch on it. Although the eyes are still a bit creepy. Yeah, so last time I did not have my mic on, and this time uh, I think something got shuffled around and turned off uh, during the last update to my system. So I was sitting down here early, and yeah, I ended up having to dig all through my settings and find out what happened to my audio. Oh, come on, tell me. Please tell me that this is not going to get lost in here. Oh no. Okay, so the mouse is working, but why is my pen not working? Well, we're going to have problems tonight. I can't paint with a mouse, and I can't make my pen work on my tablet. It's on. Oh, how I hate system restarts. And see, I just did. Do Oh no. Oh well. Oh no, something crashed. Nope, nope, it's back. Good gracious. What is wrong with my computer tonight? So let's see. I'm going to erase some of my blue lines here because there's a new plan for what's inside this shadow box. Uh, I'm going to make the dragonfly much bigger and black and purple, or mostly purple. And I'm pretty happy with the shadow. What I've done is I've changed the background to a more yellowish green. And wow, this is just going to be really tricky. So yeah, I changed the background to a more yellowish green following feedback from my client. And I will be having, I'll have the eyes on a separate layer, like back behind the skin tone, just to make sure that things aren't, uh, just to make sure that the eyes don't get blended weird. Um, hmm. Why is my pen not working? Okay, so let me save this. I am going to close out of my Clip Studio program and come back to it in a second. See if that helps at all. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of saving going on. What do I do about this? So last night was my night off from doing an art stream. So I thought, well, my computer's been fussing at me to let it update, and it's going to require several restarts, and I never have time for that while I'm doing art streams. So I set it for 7:30 p.m. last night and got it rolling and rolling and rolling like the little icon's doing right now. And then the next morning I came in, well, that night when I got back in, I booted up the computer. It needed more restarts, so I set the restarts going again. And then first thing in the morning, I came in and started the restarts again. And then I was working on the animation for the trailer for issue 2 of Soulbound. And I've worked out something that I think will look cool. It's very it's very anime inspired. Uh, like the intro sequence to like any of the anime TV shows where you get this very dynamic sounding pop music and somebody singing in Japanese. I have no idea what's going on. Even when the lyrics are in English and I'm reading them, I'm like, this makes no sense whatsoever, but it sounds, uh, really energetic and exciting. So I was going to go with a few pieces of imagery from the concept of Soulbound, from the whole arc, the whole idea of the story. And this is so bad. I can't. Okay, I'll just. Huh, look at that. I can actually pop this up on my upper monitor. That's interesting. Um, so yeah, I was thinking of a couple of full scenes that I could animate and put together, and also some art from the new comic. Uh, once we get that made, should be starting pretty soon. Um, and yeah, I'm looking up at my upper screen right now, kind of scrolling through what's going on with the Wacom tablet. Ooh, properties. Um, there's my pen. Okay. Well, it looks like it's still on. And the mapping, yeah, I changed the mapping on my pen to scoot it over to this side of the tablet a little bit more because I was starting to get some wear right along in here. And I want this tablet to last a long time. And it's just because I'm right-handed and I just tend to lay across the right side of the tablet, over here in this area. And so all my drawing is like in a line right down here. So I changed the mapping of the tablet so that I'm drawing more on this side and wearing out this square more. Oh, there's a test. No, no, tablet's not. The pen is not working with the tablet. Nope, nothing. I suppose I could work on I could find some troubleshooting. Hey. Oh, okay. Hey, Peter. Oh, it's good to hear from you. I'm having technical difficulties today. But yeah, I hope to be on the show soon. Yeah, this week's just gone by really fast and very crazy. So yeah, we're gonna have to schedule something so that we can chat. Well, it's just getting this comic out just really means so much to me, and I really do appreciate it. Um, so yeah, other than technical difficulties going on today, um, it's it's been a weird day. There's nothing I can do about this. Um, but yeah, I mean, you don't know how many times I tried to just work out how could I get how could I get any copies at all made of my comic? Um, how could I do it? No matter what I did, the numbers just were not gonna, okay. Yeah, the numbers just weren't gonna work. And then you came out with a printer partnership program, and um, it was exactly what I needed. Well, thank you so much, Peter. I really hope, um, okay, I'm a little bit mixed up right now, but I think I got this going now. But yeah, message me on on Twitter or email me. You have all my info. Oh no, it says there's no recent info. I'm so doomed. Okay. Don't worry. I've got this. I can do this. See, there it is. It's right there. Okay. I have lost track of what I was saying, like several times in a row. Oh, there's my recent stuff. So, well, thank you, Peter. I appreciate you stopping by. I just, I usually am a little bit better than this. This is bad. Okay, I think. Oh no, no, no! My pen still isn't working. Why is my pen not working? Well, have a great night, or at the very least, a better night than I'm having. Wow, this is gonna be the night where y'all all get to see me have a mental breakdown. Oh, why is my pen not working? Okay, what can I do with a mouse? All right. Now, I have to say that as much as I love my tablet and my pen, like I really, really do, I started off with a monoprice tablet and GIMP, and now well, look at me now. I I was able to upgrade to a Wacom Intuos tablet and to Clip Studio Paint EX, which usually works very well, but I suspect that the latest round of Windows updates has destroyed something, or something needs restarting. And I thought, well, it's all had restarts. And I thought that I had it solved when I had to go through my settings just before I went online, and um, I realized that my mic wasn't on, and I had to go into the settings and fix my mic. Well, my tablet is not on. My pen is not working on the tablet. So, what is that about? Um, so up here in devices, like I was just on devices. Where are they? You have to scroll way down. Now, I already checked in Wacom tablet. Control panel. Hardware and sound. Devices and printers. No, wait. It actually would not. Oh, yes, it would. Let's take a look at it. It says it's on. So let's go back here. See. Okay. It says download driver update, but I thought I did that. So I'm nearly out of time. I might be able to. Let's see. All right. Which one is. Okay. When in doubt, unplug it and plug it back in again. So I'm going to physically unplug the USB and plug it back in and see if it's really angry with me now. No, that fixed it. Oh, good. I thought I was going to have to paint with a mouse, y'all. So, yeah, welcome to my life. Some things work, other things do not, and you just find a way to work through it. Actually, I think that the hair should be on a layer that's separate here and over the skin tone. So what I'm going to do is erase this because okay, so erase that and put my blue lines back over the top. Hit a layer. I've only got a few minutes to work on this. Thank you so much to Microsoft or Wacom or whoever deserves the blame for this particular fiasco. And I'll just sketch in where it goes. There. Alright, so having the hair on a separate layer than the skin means that I can bring it up and put it over the top. So this would be a more natural place for the hair to go because it's going to be in front of the face some. So before I've had some issues with my painting blurring into colors that I didn't want it to blur into. So I'm going to avoid that by using different layers for different surfaces. Okay, now I'm just going to do like a placeholder for the hair so we know what color this should all be and that it's in the right spot. So it's going to go over her face a little. And now we can go back into skin tone. The eyes are going to be creepy for a while. I'm really sorry about that. There's nothing to be done. And let's see, I can get a little bit of work done on her facial features. So we're going to go with a darker skin tone. We've established that the light is coming from over here on the left. Let's see, back out of that a little. I do want to have like a little fleck of light on her cheek because she's not very old. She's going to have a little bit of roundness right there. And of course the inside of the ear, along the jawline, those are going to have, well, those are going to have some shadow. And along under, her hair is going to cast a bit of a shadow as well. And we'll just trim this up a bit so that it's a little more obvious where her arm is and where her back is. Okay, now that we've gotten some shading going on, I would like to do some variations to her skin tone, because she's not going to have this very flat, peachy color. This is where I really love to use the oil paint effect for blending. And I just sort of add in kind of chunks of color, and I'm going to come back in later and blend those. See, and a bit more in this rosy color. It's not going to stay this rosy. But we're going to want some on the cheekbone, on the lips, fingertips, at the elbows, and inside the ear. Let's go into blend, not blur, and use a very small, not all that small. Yeah, let's go with like a 25 brush on that. Let's try 40. So we'll try and blend this out naturally, just like makeup. So you can see that I've got the blusher and I've got the blush and the bronzer doing the contouring along the jawline. Um, Blush is still just a little too pink. Also, this green is messing with me. Maybe I could just turn that off for a bit. No, now the white's worse. It's really bright. My eyes have been hurting a bit lately. Okay, I might do a little bit of red around the nose, but I don't know. It's easy to do too much. So, while I'm blending, so if you've just come across this art stream and you might be wondering, well, who's Peter? Who stopped by in the chat for a little bit. Um, Peter Samedi is the owner of Alterna Comics. It's essentially a one-man show, but he's done so much with it. And lately, he's coming out with a lot of new innovations, a lot of really interesting stuff going on to help smaller creators, even those who aren't publishing with Alterna Comics. And one of those things is the Printing Partnership Program. And yeah, I hadn't heard from him in a bit, but he's just been at a Comic-Con, so I didn't know he'd be like back and unpacked already. Goodness. Um, so yeah, the Printing Partnership Program is a way for smaller independent creators who need from 500 to who need from anywhere from 500 to 5,000 copies of their comic book, printed, and if they want it on newsprint as well, they can go through Peter's program at Alterna Comics and actually get on the same print run that he uses for his comics. And they'll slate, they'll devote part of the printing setup to his comics and give him a discount on any other ones that he has. So he gets the volume discount for printing the Alterna comics, and he passes that on to anyone who would also like to take advantage of it through the Printing Partnership Program. So when the time came for me to release Soulbound issue 1, I was really excited to try out the program because it's so much cheaper to print 500 copies of a comic on newsprint and have them, yeah, because a lot of times it's the print on demand places. They it costs you $5 a book no matter how many copies you print, which is both the good thing and the terrible thing. And I just could not make the numbers work for me. I could not do it because one of the things that I do, I go to Comic Cons and I do face painting and I create cosplay accessories and uh, I model a lot of goggles. Um, and I make jewelry and I sell art and stuff. But I'm already going to these Comic Cons and I need to be able to take my work to them. And it's not all my business plan is not relying entirely on online sales or uh, the sort of things that print on demand's really best for. Okay, so right now I'm highlighting a little bit with this lighter skin tone. So I'm just hitting where the light's likely to hit her. Again, a little bit like makeup. So what I needed was a way to get a reasonable amount of comics in stock so that I'd have them. And the important thing to me is that I reach readers. I don't want to reach the collector's market because honestly, I'm nobody. Who's collecting my work? So I haven't made a name for myself in any industries. Um, I'm I'm absolutely zero collector value. I don't need notifications right now. Okay. The important thing to me is the story and getting that story out to readers. And that's it. That's that's paramount. And the type of paper I use is uh, it does not directly translate into getting readers because I've written this huge, epic, rather complex story, and I it's just the most important thing is to reach the readers. And in order to do that, I need to have my copies and they need to be a good deal for readers to come across and say, "Well, I've never heard of this person. This is an absolute nobody, but it looks interesting and it's only a couple dollars to buy this comic." I'm a good risk. I try and respect people's time, and it really means the world to me that so many already have spent their hard-earned money on my comic, even though I've done everything I can to make it a very reasonable cost. Every bit counts. I mean, I remember I remember not having the money to spend on on books and stuff, and where I usually got my books was from the flea market, where um, I've said that most of them were from estate sales, but that was only on the dealers' tables. Most of the books at the flea market were, mm, honestly, somebody had to clean out a deceased relative's house, and all they got left for their inheritance was flea market junk. So I got a lot of books. My book budget was about 25 cents a book. I might have a couple dollars to spend. And that's that's what it's like. You know, I never even got into comics because nobody was selling comics at flea markets and yard sales for that. Those were collector's items. That they were already the collector's market, so I already had like a major prejudice against collectors. You know, that wasn't me. That wasn't for me. I couldn't afford to collect. Um, okay, let me blend this in a little better. I will have to go back in and do a little bit of line work on this. But, you know, so far so good. I'm trying not to lose her features. So when I was able to get to comics, that was kind of a treat. That was um, that was at the grocery store. And you know, the reason I was able to get comics as a treat at the grocery store when we went to go visit my grandma, um, it's because they were there. They were cheap, and you know, it was like Archie's and Richie Rich, and those were good, all ages, kid-friendly titles. Um, that were familiar and friendly, and they were in the grocery store. They weren't hidden away in a collector's shop, you know, waiting for somebody to pay a lot more money for them. They they just didn't take themselves too seriously. And so that was my experience with comics and with books. So I know that not everybody can afford to be a collector of comics, but I do believe that everybody should be able to afford to be a reader. I think that comics should be for everybody. And you know, if you're a reader, you will find a way. I mean, you'll find somehow you'll find a way to get your stories because you love them. And when you do, won't care what paper that they're printed on. So I've gone off on a tangent, I guess, again. But seriously, that's what it's like. With the newsprint comics, it made them more accessible. It made not only not only was the printing accessible to me as a creator, but it also made the comics accessible to the person I would have been. Yeah, the, to 9, 10-year-old me looking for something to read. It it made that possible. So somewhere out there, there's some kid or some teenager, you know, maybe all they've got for their entertainment money is $2, and I would be so happy and so excited if they chose to spend it on my book, or $2 or $3 actually. But I do bag and board them and ship them out at cost. But yeah, somebody who maybe doesn't have a huge budget for collecting would still be able to find my books and read them and enjoy them. And that's that's the purpose of creating, so that you can find readers and readers can find you. They can actually afford you when you do. Okay, now that I'm finally in close enough to see the fingers, this needs a lot of work. Yeah, just because it's fingertips and you don't really see a lot of the whole hand, it doesn't mean that you can slack on them. So, yeah, if you're a comic creator and you're more into finding readers and you're going to need some print copies of your book, I would highly recommend you check out Alterna Comics and look for the Printing Partnership Program. They will fix you up with a reasonable amount of comics, a nice respectable print run for a better deal than you can find anywhere else. Believe me, I looked. So, yeah, Alterna made it possible for me. And I've been finding readers, and now a I have a book signing coming up, actually, October 19th. And I finally get to meet my artist, Mia, in person. Up until now, we've just been entirely online. And I cannot believe, yeah, it's been a really weird year, but I wouldn't trade it for anything. There's been so much, there's been a lot of crazy going on, but there's been so much good stuff too. Okay, that's gonna have to be it for tonight. I'm sorry to be leaving you with creepy blank-eyed girl, but I don't have time to get into the eyes layer. And honestly, lips always give me trouble. I will consider this and come back to it. It always takes me like 3 or 4 sessions to get the mouth shape exactly right. But thank you for coming by. Thank you for putting up with my ridiculous technical difficulties. And thank you to Peter Samedi for stopping by. I'm just I cannot say enough good things about Peter and Alterna Comics and the the printing partnership program. I'm gonna have to get better at tongue twisters, y'all. And that's gonna have to be it for tonight. But thank you so much. I appreciate you all. Stop by my site, otherrealmstudio.com, or look me up on Amazon. Uh, my comic is Soulbound, issue 1, Adrift, and you can get that on Kindle. Or you can go to otherrealmstudio.com and find it in print, because I still have print copies and I will be signing those, and I can send one right out to you. So, again, thank you so much, and I'll see you in the other realm. Good night.